So imagine, if you will, you, a young French lad, 25 years old, 1955, the coast of France. What coast? The north, west, south?
Caen.
Caen? So the south.
No.
The
northern Caen.
north. Oh, that's right, northern Caen. That's okay.
It's right across the English Channel. So
That's
we're
right.
in the Normandy invasion.
That's right. Oops, I apologize.
I've been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Caen.
Absolutely beautiful.
All right, so you're a 25-year-old French man, inherited, your grandfather's boat. You had a little bit of money. You had your little. You probably have like a moped, to tootle around France with, and then so you live on your boat, on your grandfather's boat. But you run out of money. You only have so much, and you need something to do, and because you're in France. You're a Frenchman. You survived a war, a horrific war. You share this. You bear the scars. Your mind. Or were you a refugee? Did you and your family flee the conflict? What happened to you during the war? Would you say? Like you're a Frenchman. What is ideal? What happened to you? Right? Right?
You got to close this in. I'm wondering what.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
I want
so
you to fill it in. Fill it in.
What?
I'm prompting you, so fill it in. What is who is what's your name? What's this character's name? That
I'm French.
This French character. Are you just calling me Jacques or George or what? Like what name you want to give this character? What?
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand. Okay, Yves Montand. All right. So you are Yves Montand.
Okay.
Of the Ta family of whatever.
There's an actor, I believe his name is Yves Montand, but I'm not pronouncing it right. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. And you living on the boat. So what did you do? What happened to you during the war? What?
During the war, I kept my head down.
Yeah, where were you physically?
Oh, I went to America. I saw it coming.
Your family saw it coming. You're like, yeah, hey, we're getting your family saw it coming. You're like, hey, we're getting the F out of here, and just selling everything. Bye. It's 1939. 1940 is like stuff's going down. I think we gotta we need to relocate. So okay, so you've come back to France. Your family, your parents established a new life.
Is the war over yet?
The war is over. Your
good.
family.
Then I'll come back.
Your family has relatives somewhere in America. We'll get in the States, and we'll get back to that later.
Yeah.
But you've come back to France because your grandfather, he just happened to be living here, and he had a boat, and he passed it on, and so you're the inheritor, and you're living here in Caen. What are you doing during your days here in Caen? Where would you you wake up in the morning? So what's so Itima?
Well, Caen.
Wait. So what's your guy's name again?
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand.
Why? It starts with a Y.
Okay. Yves Montand. All right. So Yves Montand wakes up in the morning, and what does what does Yves Montand do? You go to the bathroom.
Yves Montand, the real one's an actor.
Right, so you go to the bathroom, you drink some water, you're hungry. You getting some breakfast, or what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go exercise, or are you gonna swim? You're on a boat.
Well, Caen there is farmland, but if there's a city of Caen too.
Yeah.
Which is
So would you go swimming? Would you go spearing? For food?
There were people sail surfing.
In the 55 France.
Oh, in 1955, I'm sure they were probably racing little boats back then.
Yeah. But so what does Yves Montand do when he wakes up in the morning? Does he go swimming?
I chase Bridget Bardot from morning to midnight.
Right. But you're gonna have to get ready for that. So, but what are you gonna eat for breakfast? How are you gonna get ready for your day? What are you gonna do? What's your morning routine? Do you go for a swim? Do you swim for your food?
It's a little cold.
A little cold. Okay. Yeah, because it's the summertime.
Yeah, maybe I'd bike ride. Bike riding was big back then.
Okay, so you get your little dinghy. You get dressed, freshen up. You get in your little dinghy. You row ashore.
It's pretty rough. I don't know.
You tie up
and
you have your bike, and you get in your bike, and Hey,
Well,
you
right
go
around
to a little
French.
cafe. So you find a little cafe. It's le petit miao, right? The little kitty. And they
I
because
found a nice little cafe in something Del Mer.
yeah,
Oh, or Serre.
Cafe del Mer. Right. So you go to the Cafe del Mer.
No, that was the village. It's I forget the name of it. It's a beautiful little place.
All right.
I found a little cafe there. They
Right.
sat me down. There's one other Frenchman, nice middle-aged gentleman. Didn't speak a word of English. I didn't speak hardly a word of French at the time. Still don't. And they put us together so we could talk. And I don't know, less tables to clean. And we struggled through a few. He was from Paris. He had a daughter.
Ah.
He was divorced. Didn't like his ex-wife. And he found out, I was there following my dad's footsteps through Europe at his old air bases one after another.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, Cafe des Mers, and
Well, that's
the middle aged maitre d sets you down, and so what does?
No, it was two very pretty young ladies.
Oh, well, there you go.
French girls.
Ah, so there's some young French lasses,
They're innocent, but they're pretty.
who are serving you food, and they recognize
They're very
you because
nice. They're very nice.
they've seen you come around a couple of days, and
I was just
they ask how
walking
your
in.
night was, because you see them.
I stopped in this village to use the bathroom, and I started walking down the roads, and it just drew you down. They were so picturesque and just so beautiful, and they had fresh flowers for the tourists, So
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
And so like what would you eat? What kind of food would?
Later in the afternoon, the other
In the
meal
meal.
I ordered was a. It was
Well,
a
for
large
breakfast.
piece-
Breakfast.
Oh, for breakfast.
Breakfast. What does Imim or Ilmamia eat?
I'm trying to think of what I had there because I didn't eat at the hotel.
What would a strapping 25-year-old French lad coffee and croissant?
Well, yeah,
Coffee, croissant, right? Maybe a little cheese, right?
Well, I'll tell you what I ate in other parts of France. I had. This is a new word. You've never heard this one before. Omelette de fromage.
And describe that.
It's a cheese omelet. Fromage means cheese. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. So that's what I.
All right, so
that would be my typical breakfast when I was in France.
So Imamia orders a omelette de fromage, and gets a little croissant, gets his coffee.
I did.
And so he's chatting up with so Imamia is chatting up with the late
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand, thank you. Yves Montand is chatting up with the two waitresses. So what does he say? What would he be talking to them about?
Well, what I was really asking him for is if they knew where the air base for the bombers was in that area.
What would Imam Tian?
What would he? He's a
At
Frenchman.
a 25-year-old Frenchman, in 1955,
he's a Frenchman. He
can
chases women.
He chases women. So, and I mean, these women get chased after all the time, and they recognize it. They're playful, but they're like, oh, Imam Tian, it's.
I honestly think, as a whole, the French people are not as romantic as they're made out to be.
Yeah.
I think that's an American construction. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're not romantic,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're as romantic as some people insinuate.
Yeah, they would tell you, hey, there's plenty of women down at the red light district, and
They're around.
but they also say, hey, there's single women at church, and they mentioned that there's the one nightclub that they enjoy, the
remember
Petit
the
Meow.
guy that did the book of nudes, where he has a bunch of 500 nude people lay down and they'll take their picture, and and all over it at famous places and monuments.
What do you? Okay, so what is
The French were very stodgy. They didn't like nudity.
Okay, so they mention also a nightclub that you can go to if you want to chase women. But otherwise, these two waitresses
What
are.
do they call it? Pigalle. It's a famous badass area in Paris, I guess. I didn't go there.
So Imi Miao, or
Yves Montand.
Yves Montand, thank you. So you finish your breakfast. So Yves Montand finishes his breakfast. What does he do next?
Wash his hand, takes a crap, and let's see. Well, is he a tourist or is he working staff?
He's a tourist there because
Oh,
this
he's a
is.
tourist.
Yeah, I mean, his grandfather's boat was here, so
Oh.
that's why he's here.
Well, if he has a boat, he'd probably be on the boat. Probably go out fishing or
Yeah, so he returns to the boat and goes fishing.
yeah,
All right.
or just go on. If you own a boat, you're working on it all the time. So go back and work on the boat. That's a typical
Okay.
day.
All right, hold on.